welcome to the Gavel. I'm Linda Akibe. It was the last week in the National Assembly before federal lawmakers adjourned for the Christmas and New Year holidays. The National Assembly will resume on January 28, 2020. Now, before going on recess, both chambers pushed through some legislations. Of note, they passed the 2020 budget of the Federal Capital Territory. Both houses passed a 2020 FCT budget of 278.78 billion naira, increasing the figure by 46 billion naira from the proposed sum of 232.88 billion naira. The increase, according to the National Assembly, is to address the security and infrastructure challenges in the FCT, as well as to develop satellite towns. Now, one of the other bills listed for second reading before the adjournment is a bill which seeks a single term of 6 years for the president and governors and a 6-year term for national and state assemblies. Let's see how members of the House of Representatives handled this proposed legislation.
One of the bills listed for second reading seeks a single term of 6 years for the president and governors and a 6-year term for national and state assemblies.
The alteration I'm talking about is for 2023, going forward. The reason is simple. That's for the executive. The reason is simple. Re-elections of governors and presidents allegedly got 3-4 times more than the first elections. Now, allegedly, these monies come from the coffers of the states, of the government, allegedly. Now, if you give a 6-year single tenure, for the executive, the president, and the governors, most likely you are not going to see a situation where one will fall back to coffers of the states to sponsor elections.
The motion is supported by just one lawmaker and rejected by others, with some arguing that the president or governor will be unable to make meaningful achievements if restricted to just a 6-year single term.
The monies that are being spent belongs to this country. We can save that money. They're actually getting 4+2 without a second election. People have said somebody can just come in and not work. That's where the parties need to select good hands. And if you also have a governor that will not work, it will mean that the party will lose that state. So, Mr. Speaker, I support this bill. We shall allow it scale through second reading, and it will save this country, it will save our democracy.
You cannot ask the president to spend one single-year term of 6 years single term and expect performance. What is wrong with our system, Mr. Speaker, is the ability of Nigerian and public office holders to respect our rules. By the time we are respecting the rules, the laws that are made by National Assembly, a lot of wrongs will be righted. So, Mr. Speaker, in my view, Mr. Speaker, our democracy doesn't need 6 years single term for the executive. Our democracy needs to maintain the 4 years term, 2 terms for the executive, and the 4 years term for the parliament. If there is anything we need to do, Mr. Speaker, let us look at our electoral reforms.
The proposed amendment is self-seeking. As members of the legislative arm and as serving members, we cannot come here and amend the bill to suit ourselves. Nigerians will look at it otherwise.
If you find a leadership that is unpopular, and we have to wait for 6 years to change that particular administration, that will be too difficult, and that will be too dangerous for us. And if the man, in his own way, Nigeria way, is able to manipulate another 6 years, next time another person takes over, and it's 6 years, then we are really in trouble. We should maintain our 4 years, and again, Mr. Speaker, although the bill said 6 years limitless term for legislators, 6 years limitless term for legislators, not for a single term. That is also very unpopular in the sense that Nigerians already we have image problem, and by the time you say we should have 6 year tenure because we want to remain here and can continue for 6 years tenure, already there will be, tomorrow's news will be this item.
It's because of the immunity.
The minority leader thinks the problem of lack of accountability could be tied to immunity.
We should remove the immunity clause. We should remove the immunity clause for both governors and presidency. Let the immunity go off so that there will be accountability, thorough accountability, and ensure that the money meant for Nigerians are duly spent in accordance as prescribed by both the lower house and National Assembly.
An attempt by the sponsor to withdraw the bill hits a brick wall.
He has lost the opportunity because of the word right of reply. At this stage, I cannot allow the opportunity because we have gone beyond that. The question now is that those in favor of the bill be read the second time, say aye. Those against say nay. The nays have it.
By rejecting the bill through voting and refusing the sponsor the chance to withdraw it, he can no longer represent the bill before the House. The lawmakers say the current two-term tenure provides an opportunity for appraisal every 4 years.